So you've started a survival world, and now it's time to get to work doing all of the things that every Minecraft player knows so well. We're gonna punch some wood, do some mining, upgrade our tools, and start on our farms, getting everything that we need to survive the first night. And once that night finally comes, we shelter ourselves in the only ways that we can, by creating our first starter house. Now, this starter house doesn't have to be much. It doesn't have to be very fancy at all. Some simple wood planks with a door and a window to look out at our chickens is absolutely perfect. But after a while, doesn't this get old? I mean, we can make upgrades to it, we can go get our diamonds, we can go to the nether, do all of the appropriate things in our Minecraft world. But now we're stuck. Our base has everything that we technically need, but I bet it could be better. In this video, I am going to show you how to upgrade your basic survival base into something you can truly impress your friends with. Let's get started. So to begin, we're going to be starting with this basic starter house. This is a fine house to start your world with, but as you get more advanced in the game, you unlock a lot of more blocks when you have better tools and go exploring a lot more. These blocks are so easy to get in some instances, like the cobble and the spruce and the bricks and the granite. All of that is stuff that you're going to pick up as you're clearing out your world anyways, so you may as well use it to your advantage. But for this starter house, I'm trying to use a lot of unique shapes, adding different towers, putting a tool shed to the side, a chimney, a porch area, some windows, a windmill. All of these things are going to make this house a lot more unique and really allow me to show it off a lot better. Then moving over to the animals area. This is a very functional area, and every survival base is going to have areas like this. What I like to do when I'm playing in this sort of game is sort of make these functional areas a lot prettier, but still have a lot of function. This barn with the walls with very little depth allows me to have a lot of interior space, but it's still a really pretty area that I can do a lot of my farming in and keep all of my animals. I love how this style really reflects on the starter house and matches with it, but you can still definitely tell that it's a barn-inspired theme. A crane on the side, a well, and some leaves all around really finish off these decorations, and I love how it turned out. Now we're going to turn our attention to a little bit of terrain. Adjusting your terrain in Minecraft can really make a massive difference, and it allows you to collect a lot of resources while you're doing so. Adding some greenery and pushing this nether portal back into the cliff makes a massive difference, and it's such a simple change. When you're in survival mode, you can do this pretty much on day one that you get the nether portal. Just put it in a good spot, sink it into the cliff, and bam! It's beautiful. And of course, what GeminiTay world would be complete without a custom tree? Alongside this custom tree, I am also wanting to get rid of this farm and add a little fishing area. Fishing in Minecraft is something that I've always really genuinely enjoyed. I didn't have an auto fisher in my last survival world actually, I just fished all the time. It's so relaxing, and this area reflects that. Speaking of relaxing, farms. Of course, every survival world is going to need these farms. And a really easy way to spruce them up is to add, well, some spruce and some leaves and other things around. Just make them a lot more green and scenic. Very easy to do in survival. And with that, we are done. I hope you've enjoyed my creative mode transformation of this survival world. I enjoyed it and personally got a lot of inspiration from it for my own future survival adventures. Now, let's go take a closer look at it, shall we? I have been wanting to create a survival world for so long. You know that typical survival itch that you kind of get after you haven't played in a while and you just want to go back to the basics, stone tools, simple starter house, exploring the nether, almost dying, all of that fun adventure stuff. I've been getting that lately, but it's not time for me to start a series quite yet. But in gearing up for it, I did want to give you guys some of the inspiration that I have been loving for some simple survival bases. So that's what I'm up to this month, if you're wondering. For this base, I absolutely adore the way that it came together. Peeking through the trees here, I just love how this tall house really stands against this pond that we've dug out. all of the greenery surrounding it really matches with the biome that it's in. It's making me wonder how I would do similar starter houses but in other biomes, because this biome for me is one of my absolute favorites. I've always loved it. So maybe I should challenge myself to do one in my least favorite one of these times. Let's cross over in the pond here. You can see I've done a couple of little details around this fishing area, and this is honestly, I think if this was my survival world and I actually built it in survival, this would be the place that I would hang out the most. This area with a little fishing area, I would absolutely love to sit here on a chill evening, listen to some music, and just do some fishing. One of my favorite activities for sure. We can head over here towards the portal as well, where I've very simply tucked this in. I've seen some of my other friends do this as well. I'm not sure who came up with it originally, but it's a pretty simple concept, just shoving it into a cliff, some stairs and slabs in front of it, and lots of foliage around. Absolutely love how that's come together. All of this grass and bushes are so easy to place in survival mode and collect. I mean, you can even farm the berries if you're wanting a lot of those. So it's really easy decorations, but it makes such a big difference. Of course, in order to make this house look a little bit more rustic, I have gone with some signs along here. I've done the stripped oak log, but I've mixed it in with some of the oak planks to try and give it this more rustic flair. I don't do a lot of rustic builds very often, and this has definitely got that medieval shape inspiration, but it looks a little different than what I normally do, and I really enjoy that. It's not normally something that I do to not add a lot of depth right here, but I've been getting into doing interior, so working on styles that allow us to have interior are a lot more survival friendly, and I'm really enjoying it. Of course, out here we have our typical campfire and little lookout in the tree, which is perfect for a GeminiTay survival base. Heading inside to our wonderful, comfy home, I wanted to mix some function with some beauty in here. I was taking some inspiration from my amazing friend, Mythical Sausage, who is just so incredibly talented. And this kitchen design is so much fun. Look at how easy it would be to store some things right in here. It's right in the entrance of your house, right? You're coming out from mining, heading into your house, you want to dump off your supplies, you can. Right here. It would be so easy. All you have to do is drop them off right here, and it doesn't look like a typical storage room, but it's functional. Now mind you, you definitely need a chest room somewhere, but for some simple storage needs, really well done. Over here we have a fireplace, and I've actually used some blast furnaces down here just to hide some function within the beauty of a fireplace. A really simple area for us to come after doing some mining and smelt our goods. Let's head upstairs now, shall we? Up here, I've done a fairly simple bedroom, some more chests, little bed and table, and of course, in the original starter house, the very top floor was the enchanting area. I wanted to keep true to this and create this little area in here. Some anvils, a place to do some enchanting that is just a little bit prettier than before, and of course, a simple desk over here to dress it up. I didn't do too much interior on this one, but we still have the barn to explore yet, so let's head back there now. On our way back, we have this little tool shed. These sheds are something that I've been doing on my houses recently, just doing them in a different color, but still matching them to the theme of the house. It adds another layer to the house and makes it look just slightly more complex, but in a very simple way. When we come in here, we've got a very simple tool shed area, little workstation, nothing much, but again, it does add something really nice to this house, and I love it. Plus, this mushroom block is one of my favorites to work with, and it's so easy to get in this biome. All you'd need is a little bit of silk touch. Now, let's head to the barn, because I think this is definitely my favorite area in this world. I haven't worked on a barn in quite some time, and I like the rustic feel that this one has. You've got that classic barn shape, but it's got 3 different layers for the roof, and I think this makes a really big difference to the overall design. It just gives it something that it wouldn't have had before. Of course, we still have our lovely horse, our cows, and our chickens all being able to hang out, and we have an interior. Heading in here, we've got just some very simple tool and work areas. Hello chickens! I think had I thought about this a little bit more, I probably could have come up with a better barn design, but for now, let's head upstairs because this is my favorite area. I love in barns where they have this loft area with the hay, and this is often where the chickens hang out. So I've used some coral and a saturated slab in there to make a little nest for my chickens. Now my chickens have mostly run downstairs, but that's okay. Got some shelves with some eggs, some simple plants, and of course our balcony overlooking our land out here. Oh my heck, look at this view! This is making me want to play survival even more. Alright, one more room to look at upstairs. Let's head up here. So up here I wanted to have that typical tool area. I spent a little bit of time on farms when I was a teenager taking horse riding lessons, so this is kind of inspired by the barn and stables that I saw when I was there. There was typically an area with the hay, upstairs, chickens and such, but there was also always some sort of tool room. So this is what this room is. Sort of under construction looking place. Lots of barrels, smithing table, general tools that you may need when doing work around your farm. Now, let's head back outside, shall we, and take one more look at this farm. The wheelbarrow design, of course, a classic. Lots of composters all around, and in general, just tons and tons of greenery. This is so simple to do in survival mode and something I will definitely be doing in my farms. Just really easy to add leaves all around here. I know I talked about it in the time lapse, but I cannot stress how easy it is to make these farms look good rather than just lazily plopping them down. Some simple leaves and flowers surrounding them makes all the difference to your world. Of course, we also have the little hay lifting up right there. I didn't make that make a lot of sense on the interior, I'm realizing now. Maybe I should have, but that can be a revision for another day. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tour of my transformed survival world. I've been wanting to do this for a while as I sometimes get the question of, where do you take your survival world after you've gone so long with it and you've kind of got everything that you need in terms of armor and tools and such, what do you do next? And I hope this answers that question at least a little bit. I can't wait to start a survival world of my own eventually. I'm hopefully going to be doing that for Minecraft 1.16. I hope you're excited for that and enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone!